everybody. Welcome back to Sit Fearlessly.
Woo woo!
We are so happy to be back, and we have an incredible episode today, as always. And shout out to the whole team that helps me put this amazing show together. Shout out to BronxNet, shout out to Matrix, shout out to DWI. That opening bumper, I love it so much. But the logos, everything, we cooking with something, okay? So I love it, and I'm appreciative to the whole team. Shout out to my girl, Kim Seabrook.
What up? Yes, thank you for having me.
How you doing, sis?
I'm doing great.
You doing good?
Yes, thank you.
I'm so grateful that you are here today. I appreciate that.
Yes.
We get to share some energy. Yes. And we've been working this summer, okay? We've been hanging out with the kids, and they have been taking all of our energy, all right? In a good way, though. They've been doing some really great stuff. We've been sitting down with them. Shout out to DWI as well. We've been a trio this summer, and we just been pouring into the kids, and they love this whole movement. So I can't wait to see some of them, do the thing.
Exactly.
Because you never know.
It's exciting.
Yes, it is exciting. Yes, yes. But we have an amazing, amazing guest here today, and we cannot wait to chop it up with him and break down everything. And again, super grateful that we have somebody of his caliber, his stature here supporting us, sitting with us. Without further ado, we have HipHopGamer in the building.
Yeah! Yo, this show is fire.
This
is my first time here, but this is fire.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, no, we're excited. We're excited. And we're just going to dive right into it.
Let's get it.
Okay? So you're known as the GOAT of the game, okay?
Facts.
And based on everything we've been talking before we came on,
Right.
I'm
That is a fact. That is
on
definitely.
and on. Yes.
Yeah.
But before all of that came, before the awards, the accolades, all of that good stuff, who was Gerard growing up in East New York?
Wow. Well,
Let's take it to
East
the
New York,
roots.
Brooklyn. So what's interesting is my grandmother, rest in peace, she's the one who taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old. So I've been playing video games all my life, you know what I'm saying? So now it's officially my career. Now, one thing that my grandmother did, I was always her champion, you know what I'm saying? She was always my champion and everything like that. So my grandma's really gave me structure to make me understand what love is, you know what I'm saying? And bringing me to the Bible and make me understand how valuable I really was. So there was a part in my life, because a lot of people didn't notice, but I never met my moms, right? I just met my mom 2 years ago, and I'm 42. You understand what I'm saying? So what happened is there was a part in my life where, I would probably say between 4th and 7th grade, where I felt like I was nothing, because if my own moms didn't want me, I must not be valuable. And growing up in the hood, it's very easy to not feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So you want to fight, you want to, try to find your outlet. So my grandma really is my world, you know what I mean? Really is my everything. So that gave me a lot of my core roots, you know what I'm saying, in East New York, Brooklyn. So that's that part. Then on the flip side, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of interesting battles that I had to face in the hood in terms of I never smoked, never drank, never did a lot of things like that. So I had a lot of peer pressures. So one thing that I learned early is I always had a level of discernment. I didn't know where it came from, but I always had a level of discernment of nah, that's not cool. I ain't gonna even do that. So I managed to stay out of trouble because of video games and things of that nature. One thing that happened though is if you look at my lip, I got a scar on my lip. So I almost died when I was 1 year old because the story I was told, you know what I'm saying? The story I was told, I bit a refrigerator cord. So my brother and my sister was fighting over a bike or something like that, right? So I had wound up getting down off the bed, and I crawled and bit a refrigerator cord, and it was loose. So took my lip, you know what I'm saying? So, I had to go through that, but I could have died in that 1 year old body. So just these things, being in the hood and being in dark places, my grandmother and many other things in situations helped me see a light early, because it made me realize that, wow, I belong here because I survived things that would have killed somebody, you know what I'm saying? So gaming has really been that thing. So between video games and hip hop, though, that was my foundation in the hood that gave me an outlet to grow and to escape a lot of things that could have got me killed.
Well, kudos to you.
Word up.
And anybody watching this, and I love when I see some younger generation also watching our show, because this is a testament right there. You don't have to succumb to the word is slipping my mind.
A lot of pressures.
Exactly.
The pressures.
Yeah, a lot of pressures.
Yes.
From a hood,
Yeah.
You don't have to succumb to the pressures because
Nope.
it does take a lot to like literally come out of your house. Just to go to school, come
Yeah.
out of your house, walk through your neighborhood, all of the temptation is
And
there.
not
be tempted.
You know
Oh
what
my
I'm saying?
gosh.
And not be
Yeah.
tempted. Get on the train, come back out and do it all over again, right?
And be strong
Yeah.
enough to say
Absolutely,
no.
absolutely.
I'm
That's the
good.
key.
And be strong enough to
Yes.
say, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want to smoke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
So-
that helped me out early in life, learning the word no. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That helped me out a lot, like early in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And so like to give you an example, like that foundation leading into just like the business of gaming and stuff that I'm in now. One thing that was very interesting is in 2008, right? That's when I went to LA for the first time. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And then there's an event called E3. During that time, that was like the Super Bowl of the gaming industry.
Okay.
You meet
Okay.
everybody, all the business, everything like that. So I'm thinking everybody is like me. We just love games and having a good time. But then you get met with reality where some people, it's just another job, it's just another this, you get jaded, and then they treat you a certain way. So
Right.
I'm not the kind of person to pull a race card. In this situation, that's something that actually happened. But one thing that I learned early is don't complain, create.
Right.
So I'm the
Right.
kind of person where I don't complain, I create. So like one of the things that I did that I took with me from the hood, but flipped it in business, was I wasn't gonna let anything external define who I am internally.
Yes.
That was a big change for me.
Gem.
You know what I'm saying? That came from, going to church and understanding and getting closer to the Lord. So what happened is I learned the mission statements for a lot of the big companies. I learned the bottom lines
That's
on how the
smart.
business works. So I became the answer to their mission.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how I was
That's so
able.
smart.
So instead of getting mad because they said this or going on YouTube and saying, hey, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
I was like, oh, I know
I
what
got
this
you.
is. I got you. Okay.
Well, listen, that's like that's
Yeah.
networking 101 right
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
Because we should be studying people who are going to be in the spaces where we're going to network at 1,000%.
yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, the
Yes.
mission. Let's
Yeah,
talk about if you're going to look for a
exactly.
job, right? Like we used to look for a long time, but you look at their mission statement,
Yes.
you search
Yep.
their company, you want to know, like you act like
Yeah, and you only
so
have
what you did was
right. You only have
Yeah.
like elevator pitch moments when you're having these conversations
Right.
at networking events. So you want to
Yeah.
get like right straight to the point. So that's actually a gem too. Just dropping all the gems.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like one
dope.
thing that I learned is do the work before you get the job. So like for example, like if you're going like
Bars,
yeah,
bars,
like
bars.
yeah, like for real, do the work before you get the job. I'll give you an example, right? A lot of times, especially you work with kids too, they'll be like, I'm trying to get this or trying to get that, or doing this, or there's a resume, put your resume together, whatever. So I'm the kind of person where we all human, so I look at reality of things. So let's say you go on LinkedIn, right?
Right.
And somebody put out a job description, and you get this. This is the salary. This is what the job requirement is. Blah blah blah. And sometimes people get discouraged if it says you need a bachelor's degree for this, right?
Right.
No, you don't.
Right.
That's what
Right.
they're telling you.
Right.
So are you going to just do what they told, or are you going to get the goal done? Because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
it's
That's
about
what
getting it
they
done.
want, right.
So I look at things in reality. So if this is what's needed to be done, I just go out and do it. And then
Yeah.
once I do it, I send them a
show
message
them.
like, yo, I see you was trying to get this done. I already did it. We should talk.
Right.
Right.
So now that's one of the ways to bring people to you. That's one thing I learned. So like, fun fact, I used to work in the mailroom for every single record label. So
Okay.
Def Jam, Universal, Interscope, and everything. So I used to supervise the mailroom, right?
Right.
So there was a time where I walked in. I know everybody.
Right.
So I'm up at delivering mail, right? And I see my man Tata. You know what I'm saying? That Rockefeller and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And what's interesting is Jay-Z walked in the room. And what's interesting about that is when Jay-Z walked in the room, everything just stopped. Like everything got quiet. And being in the mailroom, you know how it is, especially in the hood and whatever, you're at the bottom. Like that's the way it's
Right.
considered.
Exactly.
You're only at the bottom if you will let people believe that you are at the bottom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a mental state.
Yeah,
that's
there you
not the
go. It's a
reality.
mental thing.
Fact. Yes.
So what I did was I was like, I want to have that type of presence where I walk in the room and things stop from what I seen and felt with Jay-Z. And now I'm that, like when I go into many spaces.
Right.
But I utilize that as a way to say, hey, when you walk in a room, if somebody stop and pay attention, that means that you have something to say or you got something to give. So be of service with your
Yes.
greatness. that's the way you elevate.
Yes.
Because like in the Bible, it tells you a humble man will be exalted. So that's how you do it.
That's what's up.
Ooh,
Okay.
I love that. You know, I always say, don't always look for somebody to give you something. What value are you also bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Because we
Absolutely.
live in a world of take,
Yeah.
or in a world where we feel like entitled to receive things. And it's like, nah, what you bringing to the table? Because if you're not equally bringing something to the table, then at some point, this strategy you have is gonna fail. You know, because people are gonna see it. They're gonna see it. You know, so I love that. I love that.
I love this show because as we're talking and I'm thinking about the concept of sip fearlessly,
Yes.
you know, a lot of people think about it from a standpoint of the glass half full or the glass half empty. So when you sip and you sip fearlessly, your glass will
never-
always be
it's
full.
always be
Yeah,
full.
it's always going to be full
love
when you
it.
sip fearlessly.
Exactly.
But if you
Yes.
sip from a standpoint of, you know, being like scared and
Yes.
like you're gonna run out. Now you are in survival mode,
Yes.
so you're not gonna be able to see your full potential.
Exactly.
So I
For
love
sure.
like
Thank you.
like
For
sip
sure.
that.
Okay.
Sip that. You know,
Okay.
either you drop when you drop the gym, make sure you sip that.
That's
Okay.
Fat, I like that. I love the show. It's
I
fine.
appreciate
That's
you,
what's
man.
up.
Yes.
Energy is dope.
All right, so let's talk about gaming.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Fat,
gaming.
let's go. Let's go.
All right, so you've made music for Street Fighter 6,
Yep.
Destiny, Uncharted, and even been inside games like NBA 2K
Yep.
and Watch Dogs 2. What is the wildest I made it moment that you've had so far?
Oh,
Because
that's a
I
fire
read a
question.
few things, and that was
Yes.
definitely a good question, sis. Yeah.
So like, I'm one of my like I made it moments for me personally. So my favorite game franchise ever in the world, ever created, is a game called God of War. The character is called Kratos. The creator of this character is my man David Jaffe. He also, created a game called Twisted Metal, and I did the theme song for Twisted Metal as well, and stuff
Okay.
like that. So the moment I got a chance to interview him, like that was my moment for me. The reason why is because in the gaming industry, especially back then, we talking about 2008. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back then, like somebody like me in that space don't get
Don't get.
opportunities to speak to somebody like
Right.
that. Like it don't happen. And if somebody tried to get close to somebody like that, you know how they be talking about like code switching, or you try to be a certain way to try to fit in. Now I've always
have to
been
do
hip hop. I always brought the industry to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You fit into what I'm doing.
Right.
So when people saw that, it was so barrier breaking because it was one of those situations where it's like, yo, I can actually make it. Like people that look like me and came from the hood believe that they can make it in gaming when they saw stuff like that.
Right.
So that was groundbreaking. But secondly, you know, if you ever seen that movie American History X,
Okay.
this movie was a real ruthless movie. It was so crazy that because it was like it was a big racist type of movie. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point where the guy was so full of rage, and what David Jaffe did was took the rage of that character and from the movie and poured it into the character in the game, but used it differently. So let me tell you how his rage happened in the game. This is so ill. So the story of Kratos is that he was in this army. He was about to die. So he gave his soul to Ares, who was the god of war. So he said, if you spare me, if you let my people survive in this moment, you can have my soul. So what he did was he took his soul, but not only did he wipe out his enemies, he made Kratos kill his own wife and daughter.
Oh, wow.
So what happened is the cost was his family for his soul. You see what I'm saying?
That's
There you go.
going in
So
the street, you
and this is a video
Exactly.
game we talk about. This is a video game we talk about. So what happened is Kratos had to wear the ashes of his family that he killed for the rest of his life as skin. So the skin, the very flesh that you got, was the ashes of his family that he had to murder because he sold his soul.
That's wild.
And that's the story of the game. Then when you play it, you get to learn more.
Right.
But that's my favorite
That's
game
your wow
ever
moment.
because, like, when you think about race relations and, you know, being black and stuff like that, there's a lot of people that could feel that way, that their own flesh is a curse.
Yes.
So that game resonated a lot
Generational curses.
with me at that particular point in time, back when the PlayStation 2 at first came out.
Right.
That's dope.
Well, shit, we walking around like that, like with our generational curses. We carry our generational curses with us on a daily basis, and that's what we try to break.
Yes.
So yeah. So you created that game.
No, I didn't create that
Okay.
game. David Jaffe is the person that created that game, but that was the game that gave me my wow moment that you asked in terms of being able to do the interviews and the coverage and to break stories on it. But that's also the person that created a game called Twisted Metal that he allowed me to write a song for. So I made a song for that game. So when you beat that game, it plays at the end credits along with Rob Zombie, the character Rob
And
Zombie.
again, that's where people would have said you would have never been that person
Exactly.
to be able to do that, especially
Exactly.
then.
You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
let's go.
So yeah, like,
But you got a
barely
lot of
breaking.
wild moments, though.
Yeah.
Like
A
even
lot.
from the outside, right, looking at it,
Yes.
because we seen Denzel,
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Idris Elba,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah,
But the
there's a
list
lot of
goes
people.
on. Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the work that you do, the program you're doing, Playmakers with Denzel
Yeah.
Washington. Let's talk a little bit
And
about
Chase,
that.
right?
Yeah,
And
so
the Chase,
and Chase
yes.
Bank. Yeah, so what's crazy is, right, so shout out to Evie and Miss Thomas, that's the principal and assistant principal at Denzel Washington School of the Arts. So what happened is I have my program in schools already, right? And shout my man Dr. Smalls, his school, he's the principal at East New York Middle School of Excellence. So he was like, yo, my wife wanted to talk to you and ask you some questions about your program. So I didn't know that she was the assistant principal at Denzel Washington School of the Arts. I didn't know that. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So then she told me that. She was like, she got me on the phone. She was like, listen, Denzel Washington is coming to the school. I need you there so you could share with him about the program and stuff like that, right? Okay, bet. Denzel Washington shows up to the school, we all meet and everything like that. Fun fact is, I was telling Denzel, this ain't my first time meeting you. So many years ago, back when I was still working in the mailroom, because like during my lunch break, I would like change my clothes and go do interviews and all kinds of stuff, and then come back to the mail. Yo, it's crazy.
I know.
The
So
grind.
yeah,
I
the
get
grind,
it,
like the
trust
grind. So what happened is, what was so ill is he did a movie called Safe House with Ryan Reynolds. That's when I first met him and spoke with him and stuff like that, so many years ago. So when I was talking to him, I was telling him, you know, the gaming industry and technology and all this other stuff, you know, this is the future.
Yeah.
And with your school and your school being arts, gaming is the biggest form of entertainment in art form now.
Yeah.
So for it not to be a part of a school that says to be the arts is a big disconnect. So he didn't know anything about gaming. Obviously heard of gaming, but he, you know, that's not what he do. So I told him, the way I set it up, I was like, yo, your peers is all in the games. So Idris Elba is Solomon Reed in Cyberpunk 2077. This game sold 13 million copies out the gate, $70 a
crazy.
pop. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what we need. So when I broke down the program and how the kids get paid and how they get a chance to explore new opportunities in music, even if you don't game, it still need music. It still need writers.
Right.
It still need all these things in games. You still need voice
Avenues.
actresses
Yeah.
and actors, all this other stuff. So he was like, wow, I never looked at it like that. So he was blown away by it. And then he was excited for me to be able to bring the program to his school. And we did a 40-minute interview, Teen Summit style, in front of the kids and everything. And it was groundbreaking. But one of the things that he said that was so powerful, he was like, listen, you know, like in this business, you know, in entertainment, stuff like that, you don't have to do the things that people may say you have to do to make it. You don't got to take your clothes off. You don't got to compromise yourself. You don't got to do none of that. And this is me talking. So, and these people ain't no bigger than I am. So I'm telling you, you don't have to do this. And he was so passionate and serious about it. And wow. It was groundbreaking, man.
Oh my
It was
God,
groundbreaking.
this is so
To be able to do that
awesome.
and then bring Chase Bank involved. So now, when it comes to financial literacy, you got the biggest bank in the world and you got direct access where you're making money at school, doing something that you love to do, and you got like major wealth builders around you that's going to help you along the way so you can understand how money works and how it can work for you instead of you just working to make money and pay a bill. So this is what it is. Playmakers, baby.
Crazy.
Get money gamers. That's what we do.
Crazy. You're basically shifting the way doing education centered
Yeah.
around gaming, centered around financial literacy. That's so awesome because
Thank
our
you.
kids
No,
are already,
seriously.
yeah, they're already at the classroom. They want to
They
take
wanna
out the
pl- that's the
laptops
first
thing
and
they
play
wanna
a
do, and
game.
play a game.
Guess what? I got a game for you to play.
Yes,
Yep,
exactly.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I give you an
Exactly.
example. A good friend of mine, Tim Schafer, he's one of the biggest game developers, right? Powered by Microsoft. And there's a game that he got called Psychonauts. So Psychonauts 2, it deals with a lot of mental health, right? So when you're walking around as the character, you see like, don't snitch, or you a rat, or you got these little things that's messing
Right.
with you. But the way you achieve certain things, the way you go through things, literally the nature of the game will make somebody rethink the way they was taught,
Right.
especially when it comes from the hood.
Right.
And I'm not just saying this; I did it.
Did it.
Like
Right.
I could show you the video documentation of how a game like that will change the narrative of how a lot of these kids think.
Well, it's true because even if it's the opposite, right? And games will also do the opposite and make you
Yeah.
react and make you want to become violent and make
Yes.
you want to like
Absolutely.
end, depending on the situation on the game.
Absolutely, but if you have characters like the one you
That one
you
you're
just
talking
mentioned
about,
recently,
Yeah.
Then
you know
that there's a way to make
that
it
they can relate
positive,
to,
exactly,
and
and help.
Yeah,
Game
it's
changer.
I'm telling you,
Create it.
everything is balanced. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Everything
yes,
is
yes.
balanced. I just believe that the more people learn the power of interactivity versus passive entertainment,
Yes.
that's when things change.
Yes.
Like for real, for real. There's so many
Yes.
games I would love for y'all to play, and y'all be like, oh,
Oh,
shoot, I
we
never
ready.
thought about that.
We are ready. We're gonna complete. Like I'm a person that like my mind travels so far,
No,
and now I'm
all
like,
over,
wait a second. I
yeah.
never sat down and played a game truly like that. I mean, when I was younger, yeah, but it was more like zombie stuff and like I'm like,
Wow.
nah, I want to sit down and play like a game that's gonna really stimulate my mind.
I got something for you.
So I'm
Okay.
excited.
South
yes,
of Midnight.
Yes.
That's a
Okay.
game that y'all should
Okay.
play. It's called South of
Okay.
Midnight. We'll talk about
Yes,
that.
let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Sound good.
So you're the first gamer partner with New York Stock Exchange.
Yes, facts. Got to spin the chain on that, baby.
Okay.
You already
Spin
know
the
what it
chain.
is. And it's on the channel
Fintech,
too. You
yes.
see it. Like you see FinTech TV and New York Stock
FinTech,
Exchange
that's
right
right.
there. Yep.
Yes. So what's your advice to creators who want to move from content to corporate in these type of spaces?
Oh wow, that's an incredible question. So like, the first thing is. You have to be real with yourself with what you want to accomplish. A lot of people aren't real with themselves. They're focused too much on hearsay. That's why they looking at everything else versus the mirror.
Right.
So, case in point, I'm gonna give you what I did so you can understand how this worked, even in
Okay.
the world of the New York Stock Exchange, right? So shout out to my man Vince Molinari. He's incredible. So he got wind of what I was doing with the kids in the schools and Chase and all this other stuff, right? He's like, yo, we gotta talk about this, right? So he invited me to come to the New York Stock Exchange to be a guest, right? So they had a dress code, right? And I asked. Now, the first thing is I didn't just go with the flow of something. I asked.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Because a lot of times people talk about, I know my worth, and you can't even speak up about it.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
that
do you
part.
really know it, or does it sound good
Does
to
it
say?
just sound good? Uh-huh.
You understand
Exactly.
what I'm saying? One thing about me is I create accountability and I eliminate excuses. Because the way to see the best in someone is for you to show them what you see in them.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So what happened is I asked them, well, I don't dress like that. You know, I don't wear suits. I don't really do stuff like that. I'm me. Like, you know what I mean? Can I still, like, come? So they was like, okay, let me, let's see. And then they hit me back and was like, well, can you at least wear, like, maybe, like, some, like, black slacks or maybe some shoes? I'm like, nah. Like, I don't.
Right.
It's, so
Ain't no
then they was like,
ain't
you know
no
what? They're like, just
compromising.
come, just come. So I came there. So when I came there, interview was phenomenal, but also I was like, there's an opportunity to do business here and stuff like that. So I was able, by me being there and having my presence there, I was able to bring gaming to the New York Stock Exchange and speak about gaming in a business way where when you look at stocks like NVIDIA, I'm a partner with AMD. These are the biggest companies in the world. Without AMD, there's no PlayStation, there's no Xbox. These is partners of mine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? NVIDIA right
up those
now.
stocks.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things. When you look at, Disney and Legos and stuff like that, all this stuff is gamified as well. So I was able to speak about these things, looking the way I look, talking the way I talk, but being able to make sure that corporate understand me and the hood understand me
Right.
at the same time.
At the same
Right.
time.
You know what I'm saying? So the beautiful thing about that, and what I would tell other content creators is stuff like that, is the moment you put yourself in a box, you lose the ability to teach people how to treat you.
Ooh, yes.
So you have to train
Yes.
people. Like, for example,
That's a fact.
based on the questions that you're asking me, if you didn't know these things about me,
Right.
You wouldn't
this
be able
interview
to
would be a whole different way.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Exactly.
you have to train people to educate, because as a content creator, right, they'll look at me and only think that I'm just talent.
Right.
So if I'm only talent,
Right.
there's certain information that I wouldn't be privy to, because why do I need to know it if I'm just talent? But when they realize that, wait, hold up, this dude got like big businesses, he does this on the back end, blah, 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 we need to bring him in a different way too.
And that's a
And then
gr-
we expand.
That's a great segue to my next question.
Right.
Without Hip Hop Gamer, stripping the brand, everything, like who would you be? Like what would you, because you have this like incredible personality, a lot of knowledge, very rooted in who you are. You know who you are, you understand your value. Like stripping all of that away.
Got you. So if it was just strictly Gerard Williams,
Yeah.
what would I
Yes.
be doing? So I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I did when it was that, to give you an
Okay.
example. So in 2001, right? My uncle, shout out to my uncle Clayton.
What
Shout
up,
out to Clayton.
Uncle?
What up,
What up,
Clayton?
what up?
You know what I'm saying? So my uncle Clayton, he got me a job with a Deco. A Deco was a temp agency. So,
I remember.
Yeah. So I got my job at Universal in the mailroom came through.
Okay.
The
The
temp,
temp
agency.
agency.
Right.
So when I got to the job and I'm in the mailroom, at the time my boss, I had a supervisor named Darren, shout out to Darren Bills, and a boss named Dexter Millings. This many years ago. So what I did was, I asked them, like, how does everything work here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, the average person that comes to work, they just come to work and leave.
Ain't not gonna
Right.
They
ask
ain't
those
care about nothing else.
questions.
They
Right.
ask those
That's
questions.
so true.
So,
That's so true.
I asked them, what do y'all need? And what is the next level up from where I'm at now? And how can I be more helpful, like, so it's easier for y'all to have a better day? So what I was when I first got to the mailroom, I became the supervisor way faster before everybody else that was there.
Right.
Created a
Of
problem.
course, of
Because people
course.
started hating, like, how can
Right.
I
You get
this and
it,
that, and this and that. So in that moment, I could have fed into the negativity of them
Right.
hating on me. But instead I said, yo, well, now that I am supervisor, like, what do you want to do? What do you
Right,
need? How can I help? I
right,
can get you in a position where I can set it up.
Exactly.
So what I do is,
Build a community.
yeah, the
Connector.
quicker you let go of your ego to be able to avoid problems, you'll be able to uplift everybody.
That's it.
Yes.
So now they see you as, like, there's certain people that it would be an honor to work for because of who they are. Like, and it's just like us being like homies or whatever. If you need something, I'm like, what do you need?
What do you
Like,
need?
I'm
excited to help you. Exactly.
I'm excited to be
Exactly.
there and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So flipping the script there.
Yes. I don't
That's
mean
what
to
I
cut
would
you
do.
off. Oh my God.
We
But
run
of course
out
we
of
run out of time.
We gotta do a part two.
So
I think that was great.
No, we definitely need
so
to
just
do a part
close it
two.
up, let everybody know what to follow you, and we done.
Yeah, so look, man, I tell everybody like this: Google me.
Yes.
Hip
That's
Hop Gamer.
it.
I'm everywhere. I own my name. It's trademark. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's on X, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, I'm everywhere. It's all Hip Hop Gamer. One love and God bless. Saturdays 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Catch me live on Hot 97 as well. The first gamer
Let's
and only
go.
gamer to be an official talent on Hot 97.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
What?
And this is Fit Fearlessly, everybody. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.
Woo.
Yes.
Wow.
That was